What's up, my tokers, jokers, smokers? It's Chef Rodney here with another edition of the Daily Chronicles, y'all. Today, we're going to talk about everything from seed to literally smoke. I got my man Dave Morgan II from Morganja Farms on the show today. You guys stick around. It's the Daily Chronicles coming at your faces.
All right, proceed to smoke weed.
Farms, Dave, thanks for coming on the show today, brother.
No problem. How are you doing today?
Pretty good. How are you?
Very good.
Good. I see you're outside in the sunny Michigan weather, I'll tell you.
We're loving it, man. You're doing amazing out here in the sun.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I look
been a
at this
great year.
like, oh, has it? That was my next question. Like, has it for growing crop?
Oh, yeah. It's been really great. Couple bad storms, about a week or two ago. A little bit of broke damage to some stuff, but other than that, man, it's just been phenomenal growing.
Hell yeah. Now, what do you got in the ground right now?
I got a few strains in the ground. I got some Caesar OG. It is blue crossed with OG Kush, and we're doing a cancer donation project. All that stuff will be turned right into RSO and given to cancer patients for free.
That's what it's about, man. You know, this entire industry was founded off of the backs and the hard work and the labor of just caregivers, man. You know what I mean? That's something that Michigan can be, they can claim, claim, I don't know, clout for, I guess, at this point, because we have one of the longest standing medical marijuana programs in the United States. We fought for that, and that's the point, This isn't a profit over promiscuity thing. This is a healing thing. This is, if you've got a problem, let's see if we can solve it. Otherwise, our DJ will revolve it. I'm kidding. We don't have a DJ. We're not that rich. But the point is, vanilla ice or not, man, this is the Daily Chronicles. We're going to sit down and talk about everything, cannabis. Now, I heard a little rumor that you're involved in a couple of dinners coming up. You want to elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, here on Morganja Farms, we raise a heritage boutique style hog. It is ganja raised. Also, all my trimmings are fed to those hogs, and we process some hogs, and we're gonna serve that out to some people here shortly.
Ooh, that sounds so good. You guys, listen, Morganja Farms. It's you're gonna hear more about it very soon. I'm excited. Me, for one, I'm excited for the jowl bacon. Like, there's nothing like good jowl bacon. It just, I would honestly eat jowl bacon instead of a Wagyu steak, tell you the truth.
Yeah. They consider the hog Kobe of beef.
Oh yeah.
Kobe of pork.
Without even a doubt, you know what I mean? And I think it's very important to the piggies to feed them a cannabis and a hemp diet. You know what I mean? It kind of de-stresses them, if you will.
Yeah.
And honestly,
So happy.
Exactly. And I think that when they're stressed, you get a higher level of cortisone in the meat, and you can taste that.
Yeah.
You can taste that. I mean, it's just like grandma cooking her chicken and biscuits or whatever have you growing up, or chicken and noodles or whatever it was, whatever your grandma's favorite dish was, or whatever have you, your heritage culture. It's just like watching her cook it and knowing, where it came from, how she was feeling that day. You can taste this stuff if you pay attention. You know, over the years, we just kind of put it in our mouths and shut up and moved on. But we need to circle back to food again, you know, and do the farm to table thing. It looks like, man, you got quite the setup there. You know, you got your little ring hoops there, and then you got another little ring hoop next to you, man. I mean, how many plants do you got on the ground right now?
This year I actually didn't go as big as all 30 plants in the ground, but these are all covered greenhouses. Every one of them is 100 foot by 20 foot, so I can put quite the crop out there, man.
Hell
Being a caregiver, I'm only able to grow 72 plants out here, but if somebody came in with the right licensing, they could definitely thousands of plants in this greenhouse that I have built.
Oh man. Oh, that's what I want to hear. You know, I want to hear about people putting seeds in the ground, bro, because that's how everything starts, as a seed. You know, an idea always starts from a seed, and I love that. You know, I love that farm to table vibe. I love just everything about honestly, to tell you the truth, I'm pretty sure I was like maybe a farmer in a past life or some shit, because I enjoy growing myself, you know. I mean, it's not anywhere 30, 70 plants. No, I got my 12. I got my legal limit. That's it, you know. And honestly, to tell you the truth, I don't even stagger them. I just do them all at the same time, because that's what I got time for. You know what I mean? And I wanted to make sure that I had time for it. So here we are. I got a bunch of Ninja Cookie going right now. Like that's going to be good. If I'm smelling what, oh yeah, it's going to be good. You know, it's
that can.
I used to grow up buying air fresheners and, like, you know, smell goods for the house because I have a dog, you know, that's what it is. Now I just use weed. It works. People walk in there like, your house smells really good. I'm like, I know, right?
Took me a lot of work to get it there.
Oh yeah, it is, man. From, you know, one plant to 100, you know, they take work, they take love, they take care. A lot of people are like, dude, no, it doesn't. It does, though. And if you don't think so, you're doing it wrong, is really what I want to say there. But
you get what you put into it.
Absolutely. Literally. Now, I want to ask a couple of growing questions before we get to the first time dubs. So, when growing, are you a super cropper? Are you a person that prescribes to super cropping, or what do you think about that?
Oh yeah, super cropping's awesome. It allows the plant to bush out more. You get a more, you know, healthier plant. I think more robust, more yield to that plant. I'm all about the training techniques, low stress training, femming top. Yeah, crop them, bend them, break them branches, manipulate them.
Get it, man. I'm all about that. Like, I got a buddy of mine, I won't drop his name, but he knows who he is. He came over, and you know, I've known him since high school, and old school roots. He's got roots to some very old school hippies that were growers, even, you know, back in the day when you couldn't. He walks in, doesn't say anything, and just grabs my plant and just goes, snap. And I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, that's called super cropping. I was like, yeah, you just snapped my plant in half. He was like, yeah, that's called super cropping. Because I didn't know. It was my first grow. And he didn't say anything. He just walked in and broke. And so I was just like, I mean, I trust you, but, like, I also kind of hate you now. You know, I'm like, well, what's going on? And so he's like, you got a pair of scissors? And I was like, yeah. He literally just, he topped them is what he did. You know, he super cropped them, and then he was like, fuck it, and just topped them, you know, and so.
Well, somebody can use that technique. I've seen many people grow these plants that are just like, they look like pine trees. They grow straight up in the air, and it's like, you need to learn some techniques. Somebody needs to show you, and that's what I do. I instantly tell them, you know, hey, can I show you? I ask them if they mind if I put my hands on their plants and show them some techniques, and usually they are very happy with the end results. You know, a few months later when they realize they got 20 top colas instead of just one giant cola.
I wasn't mad by any means. I made that sound like I was furious. No, I've known him since high school, so I knew it was something, like, I wouldn't say secret, but, like, you know, it was some kind of, like, old school technique that I didn't know about, considering it was my first grow. So I just kind of went with it anyways. You know, I'm good with it. And it turned out great. So thank you, you know. And I also want to ask one thing. What do you think about, like, liquid or just nutrients all around?
Me personally, I'm all about the organic grow, man. I have, you know, been head cultivator of other people's grows, and that's they preferred synthetics and salts, and they might get a bigger yield, but that flavor in the end, man, I'm all about that clean, organic, you know, earthy flavor, skunks, the true terpene of the plant, not a synthetic flavor that tastes like dryer sheets or pool chemicals to me.
I feel that, man, and it's like I would rather get quality over quantity any day. Like that's where I'm at, man. And it more to that point. If you laid down two identical joints in front of me and you were like, this one is this and this one is this, it doesn't matter, you know. It doesn't matter how they smoke. I'm going to be able to tell you which one was grown by a caregiver and which one was grown by a corporation. You know, I don't know if I could do it between dirt, aeroponic, and hydroponic. I'm not that good yet. But the point is, there are people that can. They can be like, yep, that's aeroponics, or yep, that's dirt. You know, and that's really awesome. I mean, I can do that with food. I can be like, nope. I can kind of go through how you cooked it, but that's me and my background, you know. And being able to mix a chef with cannabis is it's a dream come true, honestly, you know. And we got some big shit happening. It's really exciting, cool stuff coming up too. So stick around, y'all. We have a lot more exciting things to kind of delve into in the future. You're gonna want to watch Michigan. That's all I'm gonna say. But it's come to the time where we have to go to the first dubs, y'all. We're going to come back after this real quick message from Monroe Street Farms, y'all. Monroe Street Farms is where it's at. Hit them up. Yo, Monroe Street Farms. Monroe Street Farms, y'all. Love it, love it, love it. So we're back with Morganja Farms. Dave Morgan. We have hit the first time dubs, man. First time dubs is all about that first time. It's about incriminating you and telling your parents what you were actually up to as a kid. So let's hear about it, man. What's your first time smoking weed or getting high? You got a story for us?
Man, I was definitely a bad kid, man. My buddies, they corrupted me. We always smelled it, what the parents were burning. They always kind of hid it from us. We're just like, what is that earthy, just that smell, man? Ooh, that smell. I know what that smell is.
This smells like I'm going to have a lot of fun.
Yep, exactly. My buddies kind of always pick up a roach here and there, or snip a little bit off their parents, and, you know, hanging out, they're just like, let's try this out, you know. And it's just all over from there, man. I can't even really tell you time.
I don't remember shit.
Exactly, dude. It's just wild times. Like soon as I got the taste of the ganja, man, I fell in love, and it was just I never put it away. I've lost quite a few girlfriends that didn't like me smoking, but that's how it is, man. This is my girl right here. Ganja for life.
Get it. You know, listen, I'd rather smoke Mary Jane than listen to a woman complain, period. I don't say that to be misogynistic at any point, but I'm saying if a woman, because I'm a straight male, you know, and so if a female told me in a relationship, you can't smoke, or sorry, I'm going to pick weed, because it's just like, yeah, it's never done me wrong. I just got lucky to find somebody that smokes just as much weed as I do. And then I found out I smoke more weed than she does. And I'm like, no, honey, you got to keep smoking. That's what you got to keep doing. You're doing it wrong.
keep us both level-headed, and we just come together over it. You know, that's the thing, when you can have a relationship that you come together and you meet and you enjoy that thing together. You have a bond over something.
It becomes psychosomatic at that point. It becomes an energy. It becomes something metaphysical that can transcend time if you allow it to. As poetic as that is, it's the truth, you know. And so I couldn't ask for... I'm sorry?
It definitely does that for me, for sure.
Oh, absolutely. I couldn't ask for a better, like, medicine, to tell you the truth.
Me either.
Yeah. Plus, it tastes good.
Yeah. If it wasn't for ganja, man, I'd be on tons of different prescriptions, man. I mean, I have degenerative disc disease, chronic pain in my neck and my lower back, and I make salves, and I use edibles, I smoke. If it wasn't for all the combinations of, you know, how much cannabinoids that I put into my system, I would be bedridden, basically, and I wouldn't do the things that I do. Ganja has gave me life.
Oh, dude, I feel that. I feel that in so many levels because I can tell because you turn all of your stuff into RSO for cancer patients. You see what I'm saying? That's my point, you know, and I think that just doing that is a more than just, it takes your hat off, you know, in respect out of the caregivers and people suffering from these diseases that they didn't ask for, you know, and some of them can be cured. Some of them can be, I wouldn't say cured, but alleviated. You know, you can take away at least the vomiting or the whatever have you. But some of them can give back a specific quality of life. And that's the fucking point, you know, but at the same time, and I do have to say this, I feel that there are more than one side to cannabis. There's your caregivers, which I consider caregivers on the black market to be the OGs. You know what I'm saying? That's where it started. Okay, facts. You know, we can prove this. Correct. Right. Then you have what I call the white market, which is the only reason I call it the white market is because it's the exact opposite of the black market. That's it. That's it. Some people don't like that, but this isn't a race thing. You know what I mean? The only color that matters here is green. But the point is, legal market. One more time.
Pay to play market.
Exactly. Yep. But you can't say that because then it offends that market. So it's like, fine, whatever. So in between black and white, you have to understand that there's balance. So there's a gray area. Now, I stand firmly planted in the gray area because I believe in balance. I believe that, you know, despite what we do as caregivers and in the black market and stuff like that, it's not going to stop these legal, you know, dispensaries and all of this. Now, hang on. If we allow them to, I wouldn't say we allow them to exist. If we, you know, just accept that they, you know, that's their place, that's what they're going to stay. Then it should work out in theory. But the moment that they try to, you know, rescind or attack our caregivers' rights, oh, hell no. That's my point. So I stand firmly, you know, in the middle, in the gray area, and I got a finger in the black market and a finger in the white market, and I go, stay in your lanes. Because given the chance, those two will kill each other, and we can prove this. You know what I mean? So checks and balances are necessary, you understand? And that's my point. Like, let's face it. Each market keeps riffraff from their market out of the other market. That's what I mean, okay? And riffraff meaning people that are coming in trying to I don't know, one-up people. It doesn't matter. The point is, I have to speak in generalities because that is the truth. I believe that there can be a very peaceful existence, you know, if we allow it to happen, you know? Let's face it. Some people are only really worried about the wrong color of green, if you feel me. That pocket fiber, you feel me? That's not all right. That's not all right. What if, like, somebody's aunt that was, you know, actually, like, having a hard time with life, whether it be PTSD to cancer, you know, God forbid any of that. But the point is, what if you were a lobbyist and your aunt's got cancer, and to cure her cancer, she's taken RSO from a caregiver, but then you're attacking caregivers' rights? Homie, that makes you an asshole. You know what I mean? Straight up, like, that's how that works, you know? And so, what was that old term? Never bite the hand that feeds you? Is that how it goes? Yep. Something like that. But that's my point, man. You know, the gray area exists, and when people tell me, you know, they're like, oh, well, you don't represent caregivers' rights. I was like, first and foremost, not in my house. You take your shoes off before you come in my house. That's how it is, okay? We'll sit down and we'll have a conversation about it, you know? But when people realize, oh, shit, he does care about caregivers, well, that's when they start, they don't have anything to say. They're like, okay, well, the police. Dude, you're blaming everybody but yourself. Like, if you're going to have a shitty life, you need to smoke more weed. You know what I mean? But I'm all about that giving back to people, man. I mean, let's face it. Consider me a bleeding heart. You know, consider me the Great Gatsby, if you will. I mean, that's a lot of shoes to fill, but that's the, you know, the lengths that I would go to. It's the parties don't matter, man. You know, I'm putting these on for everybody else to have a good time. I can honestly give a shit because I feel that weed is missing from my life, period, you know? And so I do all of this for cannabis. I kind of, you know. Exactly.
Access, and everybody needs access to this healing.
I mean, it shouldn't have been illegal to begin with.
No.
Honestly, it's a fucking plant. You know what I mean? And look how good the government, look how long the government made it illegal. Yeah, y'all did some pretty nasty things. You tried, and the war on drugs didn't work, did it? Nope. But it's not about the war on drugs, man. It's about us. And that first time, like, I gotta ask you, let's go back to it real quick. So, I didn't start stealing weed from my parents or anything like that. I found weed from different people. Like, I fell into weed a different way, you know, as all high schoolers do, you know, playing music, cooking, the whole nine. I knew it was there, but I never had to steal from my parents until I learned that I could steal from my mom. You know what I mean? Then I was like, wait a minute, you telling me? Okay. Then I found out she was stealing from me. We'll talk about that later, I guess, but more power to her. I'll be honest with you. I started stealing cigarettes from my mom. You know what I mean? That's where it started, because it was like I was, you know, 14, 15, 13 even, I think, and my mom obviously smoked. She smoked she had a couple houses or a couple rooms in the house that she would smoke in, you know, and that was one thing. And I would just go in there and she would steal cartons and I would just steal a pack of cigarettes at a time. You know what I mean? She wouldn't fucking know. She's like, okay, well, I'm missing a pack. Oh, well. You know, she didn't care. I loved it. I mean, I could go smoke cigarettes and come home smelling like cigarettes, and my mom would be like, well, I guess it's me. I'm like, yeah, I guess it's you. But that's where it started, you know, and honestly, I really wish I could have just skipped the whole cigarette thing and went straight to weed. I wish that growing up I could have had CBD or something instead of, you know, these pills and whatnot. I honestly think that if weed wasn't legal, that there would be a lot more of our families around us at Thanksgiving time. You feel me? Yeah. So I think that that's something we gotta you know, push forward to. And honestly, that's why we're doing this conversation. We're kind of showing people that, yo, we don't just smoke weed to be cool. Motivated stoners do exist, and stop fucking with caregivers' rights. And at the end of the day, like, seriously, like, if anything, you should be paying homage to these people because they've been fighting and literally dying so you can make a buck off of this. That's completely fucked. We won't even talk about the 25%, you know, taxation that they want to put on the federal level. That's just, it's absolutely insane. That's absolutely insane. You made it illegal for all these years, and now you want to make it legal just to tax it and make money off of it. I mean, that's how government works, but I don't like that. I don't like that. I could get with like a 6 or 7%. That's one thing. 25 is too much. What do you think about that?
That's outrageous. You can't beat them. I guess join them and then just try to tax them to death is what their philosophy is. But
yeah.
They'll never stop what, you know, grassroots culture is actually doing for the patient, man. Like, I mean,
yep.
My main goal is just to be able to serve people in need and people that are sick, you know, that need this healing herb, because they're not going to be able to go to a dispensary and say, hey, man, I literally am broke and I'm on welfare or Social Security or I have no money. What do you think you could just, you know, front me a month's worth of RSO so that I can not be sick? Do you think a dispensary is going to do that? I 100% no. Me as a caregiver, I would give the shirt off my back to somebody that is in need. I don't care who they are, what their background is. If they come and ask me for something, if you ask me, you're definitely going to get it. I mean, that's all it takes. And I mean, if you can help me and give me a hand, you know what I mean? It all comes back one way or another.
Oh, hands down. You know, and I've been to a few dispensaries. You know, a few of them I do like. I'm not gonna lie to you. They just look cool. That's really, aesthetically, they're pleasing. That's really where it's at. But at the same time, I'm sorry?
The Apple stores, like,
yeah,
you know, that's the Verizon.
Yeah. So, you know, it's a necessary evil in my mind, you know, but at the same time, I feel that when I ask a bud tender, and I'm not calling out anybody specifically here, so don't if you feel offended to this, then fine, feel offended. This is about you then. But if you're not offended and triggered, then clearly I'm not talking about you. You know what I mean? I've talked to a few bud tenders and just asked the basic ass questions. I'm gonna be like, all right, I suffer from this, and this. What would you recommend? I mean, yeah, I am kind of setting them up, but I want to see what they say. I already know the answer, you know what I mean? And then they'll be like, oh, well, sativa sounds good. That's not even how that works. And then they're like, well, when do you normally smoke? I mean, all day, every day. Whoa, I'm like, all right, cool. So time out. The best way, and I'm sure you can jump in on this too. and confirm this. The best way to find out if a weed's going to work for you is to smell the shit. If it doesn't smell good, don't smoke it. If it smells good, smoke it. It's going to help you. That's your nose knows. Now, a lot of these places with this mask mandate, whether you agree with COVID or not, masks are coming back. They're not going to let you smell them. Some places will let you, some places won't. I think that there should be some kind of like, you know, that power hitter that you've seen this where like you stick the joint in it and stuff. Well, build something like that with like a little nug in there, bro, and spray it for people so they can smell it. If they like it, guess what? They'll buy it. If they don't like it, well, guess what? Fuck them. You know what I mean? The point is, like, I think somebody should do that. That's a brilliant idea right there. Plus, Power Hitter would love that kind of, you know, brand rep. It's a brilliant idea. I usually ask them, and then they'll usually tell me some bullshit about sativa or indica or how, you know, it's THC percentage close to 30%. And I'm just like, dude, you're going the wrong way with the wrong person. And they're like, what? I'm like, terpenes, homie. Terpenes matter. And I was like, flavonoids. I'm a chef. Let's talk about this. And they're like, well, what do you mean? And I'm just like, well, listen. Explain to me what human lean is. They're like, what is that? And I'm like, are you kidding me? Or I'll be like, linalool, and they're like, what? I'm like, all right, well, never mind. And then, you know, so I see this popping around real quick, and people are like, well, what do the names mean? Well, the names don't necessarily actually mean anything. They're just name specific. It's like naming something that you've created is what it is. I mean, that's really my take on it. But it's not about what I think. It's about what you think, man. We've made it to the second dub. The second dub. We're going to take a real quick commercial break from Monroe Street Fair, y'all. And when we get back, we're going to talk about Dave's favorite way to consume cannabis. We'll be right back, y'all. Monroe Street Fair, y'all. Oh, man, you better blaze that up. I was about to say.
Some Gorilla Glue. Fresh.
Oh, that looks good. That looks like a good doink. I'll tell you that. I like it when they're fat and coney.
That's how I do it. I got a thing about rolling. I love rolling joints.
It's an art form. It's an art form. It is. Mm-hmm. You know, speaking of rolling joints, before we get into the favorite dubs, I used to be able to roll 2-pile technique, 2 papers, roll it up, call it a day. Hopefully, you know, it gets in and gets the job done. There's a whole new art to that I've learned, you know, and honestly, like the late great Bourdain says, dude, learn how to make an omelet, wipe your ass, roll a joint. Those 3 things, you'll be all right. You know what I mean? So, and I took COVID a little bit and learned how to re-roll joints, and now, I mean, it takes me a little bit, but it smokes beautiful. So I'm with it.
It's all about that grind.
Exactly.
Gotta get that grind down right, you know, make sure everything's all finely ground and not chunky and smooth.
You're gonna hate me. So I don't mind grinders at all. Don't get me wrong. But being a chef, I have a lot of fatigue in my hands. I may or may not use a KitchenAid coffee grinder.
It depends on how dry it is. If it's dry enough, and you can, and it's abundance too. You grind up enough in there, you got a pile for shit and joints. You roll them up, you're good to go.
Oh, that's the idea. So I'll stick like, you know, a quarter, like a half-o in there or some shit, obviously pulling the stems out and whatnot and searching for a few seeds because, you know, despite it, you'll find a few seeds. That's the case. It's not a big deal, but it's, you know, pull them out. I'll pull all that shit out. You know, I'll save it for teas or something. Seeds, obviously, you save those, label them, and then grind it up. And when I'm done with it, it looks like a kinetic sand. You know what I mean? And that's, some people say it's too fine. No, I think that's nice and like, it's not too ground up, but it's fluffy, and when it's fluffy, that's good. I like that.
Oh yeah, I've definitely done that too. I got a couple different ways that I, you know, use decarbed flour for different types of edibles, different, you know, types of meals, and sometimes I actually use ground flour straight into it, just like you would use, you know, flour as in a cookie. And you're getting that fiber. The fiber, when you're eating the fiber, is so beneficial to your body also.
Absolutely, dude. So if you drink coffee, obviously, and I'm sure you've got keef. Did you know you can actually take keef and like take your coffee mug and put it in there and it'll decarb it?
Damn right, brother. I decarb my keef, and then I put my keef into honey, and then I use a teaspoon of honey every cup.
There you go. That's also a good thing for allergies. Like localized honey is really good for allergies too. Speaking of which, let's roll back into the second dub. Your favorite way to consume cannabis, man. Let's session kind of talk about that. Like, you know, joints, spliffs, dabs. What is it, man? Like, how do you consume? When do you like to consume? Like, let us know.
I mean, I consume all day long from the first. As soon as my foot hits the floor, man, I gotta smoke a bowl or smoke a joint to like alleviate some of this chronic pain. It's just in my bones, man. I got bulging herniated discs. Like I said, I put on some oil even. So I use the entourage effect of so many different ways. It depends on how much pain I'm in, and depending on what the day is. If it's rainy and barometric pressure's high out, and you know I just feel like garbage, dude, I gotta use more. So it's all about the joint, man. It's that first joint of the day is just like it's just like breakfast.
Oh, exactly. I do want to point out though real quick, and I know you know this, but it's no longer the entourage effect, it's the ensemble. Yeah,
okay.
So it's not just so like the entourage effect. You think like, let's say like a famous celebrity, and then like everybody, their entourage, they lift up one cannabinoid. That's not the case. These all work in unison together, so you get the entire orchestra basically. So the ensemble, yeah. Yeah, I learned that from Adam Brooks, so it's kind of like, all right, I'm gonna stick with that. And I may have forgotten or something like that the next time, and then he made sure I knew. I appreciate you, Adam. Shout out Adam Brooks, man. Hash Bash, Monroe Street Fair, all those people, man. That's caregivers, if anything. You know what I mean? So,
They're the OG.
man. Oh, exactly. Anything OG, you gotta respect. They grew up from little lowercase G's to big G's. You gotta give them that grind. You know what I mean?
Number one, they're the grassroots activists of behind this whole scene, man. They started it
50 years ago. Absolutely. What was it? 2 for 10, 4 for 20? Yeah. If you know what that means, you know what that means. Well, consuming cannabis, I often wonder, like, do you have a regiment of like, okay, I'm gonna smoke this strain in the morning and this one at night, or you just go for it?
And that really matters also, like what I have to do for the day. Like, I mean, if I have like a lot of errands to run, I definitely don't go for the like highest indica strains that I have, like the stuff that really like makes me foggy headed or just like, you know, really puts me down. I don't like to smoke those first thing in the morning. I like to smoke, as you would, you know, a lot of would say, sativa strains. I go for more of the 60-40.
Uplifters. Yeah,
uplifters. The 60-40 is like my go-to level. That's what I grow a lot of, because it helps me and it helps a lot of the people around me to, you know, get that right, you know, profile of cannabinoids into their system. They're not getting, say, too sedated feeling. They can smoke that 60-40 first thing in the morning and go about their day and not be in pain and be able to get stuff done and be clear-headed more.
Hell yeah.
That's what I like to be. I like to have pain-free and, you know, my head dulled enough that I'm not focusing on the pain, but able to get things done. I got a lot of things that I have to focus on, and like, you know, reading things and doing charts of, you know, brewing up nutrients, you know, milliliters, all that kind of stuff, adding that stuff. I don't want to be too high that I forget some things, and it has happened for sure.
Or do I feel that in so many levels for sure? Like, what I heard from you though was, and you've confirmed it, you know, motivated stoners do exist.
Oh, definitely, man.
You know, and that's my point. Like, we got Usain Bolt, fastest man on land. We got Michael Phelps, fastest, you know, person in the water. Then we got, you know, I forget her name. It's like Shakar or something. I butchered that. I'm sorry, but fastest woman on land. All of those people smoke weed.
That's right. They're focused, and that's what it does for a lot of people. It literally, like, it puts me in the zone and makes me focused on my goal.
I get it, man.
A little bit of herb, I get it. Yeah, that's right. Smoke a little bit of herb and go get it done.
Oh yeah, and that's my point. Like, you know, chefs, line cooks, dishwashers, that's why we have safety meetings, you know, and it's funny because those safety meetings, they're not for our safety. Oh hell no. They're for your safety. You know, that way we don't snap because you're demanding a well done steak in 4 minutes because you're late for a movie because you're cheating on your wife and she doesn't know about it. I hate all of that. I hate all of that. Don't bring your bullshit into my restaurant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's not about, you know, their bullshit. It's about healing, bro. And it sounds like that's exactly what you do. Obviously it is. I just want to point that out to people that may or may not, you know, be familiar with what you do. And so I look at it this way, like, yo, if I got to smoke a joint, or if you got to smoke a joint to be able to go out and feed the pigs or whatever have you, it's got to be done, man. You know, those pigs are hungry. You know, if you got to smoke a joint and go fix the fencing or something like that, like, pigs are assholes, dude. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I get it, you know, and that's what I'm saying. Like, homie's got, you know, degenerative disc disease, and he's still out there, you know, moving these pigs and doing that and doing this shit, which tells you, like, yo, you want to talk about life being easy for people? No, I don't believe that in the slightest bit. You know, I think that that's a certain group of people, and I think that that certain group of people may or may not smoke weed, and if they do, they still don't have any affiliation with what we're doing. You feel me? So it's a whole different vibe there. Please understand, y'all, the rec side and medical side of marijuana, cannabis here. And know the difference. That's the takeaway of the favorite ways, your favorite dub sesh, you know the difference. Some people do it recreationally. That's not us. Some people do it medically. That's us. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, I love that. We're going to go ahead and skip on over to the third dub, bro. We're going to talk about that one time, that incriminating time that... Listen, you just got way too high, bro, like whether it be smoking or whether it be an edible. We're going to find out real quick after we come back from a message from Resrid, y'all. Resrid.com. Clean your pieces. So my dumbass just noticed that the under bit of my thing is green for my green screen, so it's like my head disappears when I do this.
It looks like chrome, actually. It looks like a mirror effect.
Fuck it. I'm good with it. I'm good with it. I'm mystical and shit. But third dub, y'all. Third dub. This is about, you know, that one time that it's called a crazy dub. It's all about that one time you just got way too fucking high, man. Dave, what do you got for me? We all got that story.
Man, I would say edibles is what had put me down, made me feel like this is a whole new level. Like, it's like psychedelic almost. First time I ever made brownies, I took like an ounce, ground it all up, decarbed it. We made butter, and we made a pan of brownies. And that was the first time I ever thought I was gonna die. And I literally like laid in a dark room in my bed and like thought I was having like, you know, connection with God and like, you know, please save me, Lord, keep me safe and, you know, help me through this.
Save me, Tom Cruise, save me, Oprah Winfrey.
That shit was intense, man. It's unreal, like how medicated you can actually get from eating cannabis. It's so different when your liver is what absorbs all that compared to lungs in your head.
Sort of. Let me as a chef, let me stop you right there because I want to educate you on this. I know you know, but there's science behind it, and it all goes back to the cannabinoids and terpenes. So your liver, yes, that does play a role. Not gonna lie to you. However, it's before that where the real magic happens. So on every joint, in every cannabis plant, there's different levels of cannabinoids. You know this, okay? Those are terpenes, da-da-da-da. So let's just skip all of that because I know you know that. So at certain temperatures, these terpenes burn off. You know, these terpenes carry cannabinoids. If they can't carry the cannabinoids, there's no boat there. The ferry's not going to run. Does that make sense? Right.
That's true.
So when you light up a joint, you're burning off like most of your cannabinoids because your lighter is like 400 degrees. Well, the cannabinoids begin to burn off at 200. So between 200 and 400 when you like this right here, this. The worst things you can do for anything. Not to mention breathing in the butane from that, not good. You know, the heat from that, not good. You get the idea. When you eat something, depending on how it was decarboxylated, you don't burn off those terpenes, and you're absorbing more through, you know, digestion. So if you're not burning them off and you're absorbing them, you're getting blasted with all of this. You see what I'm saying? Instead of just a little bit, you know, real quick. So the latent, the onset takes a little bit, but the you know, potency seems different. It's really no different. You know what I'm saying? You could pack 150 milligrams into something. There's only going to be 150 milligrams in it. That's how that works. But when you eat something, it's going to be, you're going to have more of a psychoactive effect because of the absorption rate based off of delta 9. However, if you take your delta 9, your THC, and you lower that dosage and increase everything else, you can become, what I say, complacent. You know, you become cognitive, you become functionable. You know, a lot of people compare it to microdosing with mushrooms. You know, you don't you know, if you do too much mushrooms, there's some psychoactive effects. We know this. They're fun, but same with THC. You know, that's why a lot of people, when they eat edibles, they'll have those psychoactive effects, you know, and that's the truth of it. Now, the reason that people feel like they get knocked out after edibles is because your body breaks that down to CBN, you know, and then it's, you know, cannabis, bed nap time, or whatever the hell you want to call it. But the point is, CBN makes you go to sleep, okay? CBN is on the other end of the spectrum after THC. That's what people don't understand. They're like, no, it's part of CBG and CBD. It's not.
Every strain though has CBN in it. I've actually tested. I've tested multiple different strains, and very few strains actually have CBN or CBG in them.
Very, very true. Very true. Now, however, if they do have THC, if you allow it to sit, the THC begins to break down into CBN. That's how you get it. So yes, you are absolutely correct. However, if let's say I have a joint that has THC in it, okay, and I just leave that joint aside for 3, 4, 5 months. If you test it then, it's going to have a higher level of CBN. That's my point. It's the decomp. Everything, you know, everything breaks down, man. You know what I mean? That's the way matter works. But that's the truth of it. And then we can talk about THCO, which is this new Delta 8 shit and da 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 da. It's all synthetic. I guess it's cool. I mean, I don't really have an issue with it. Some people are, you know, freaking out about it. I don't really care. I'm just going to continue to smoke weed. That's the truth of it, man.
No synthetic stuff for me. Exactly.
If it's from the ground, it's probably okay. You know, that's where I look at it. Dude, we have reached the last dub of the show. This is, you know, this is for all the cookies. This is for all the cookies, man. This is that planned dub. Now, we've learned kind of where you came from. We learned what you do. You know, we learned how you like to smoke all the time, you know, and things of that nature. This is, okay, what are you going to do henceforth on? Or, like, help us kind of, you know, look at what you would do going from here, you know what I mean? So I want to take another real quick message from Monroe Street Farms, or not Farms, Morganja Farms, Monroe Street Fair, with the F's today, fail. And when we come back, man, we're going to talk to Dave about some upcoming news with him and I and what's going on, what we got planned, and then we're going to roll into the planned dubs, y'all, when we come back after this. And we're back with Dave Morgan from Morganja Farms. I want to point out, y'all, that wasn't Dave in the Monroe Street Fair ad playing the guitar. Not Dave. Dave's got awesome dreads and red hair. That guy was pretty cool, but it's not him. Moving on.
I would love to go down and check that out. It sounds like a great time.
Oh, it's say no more, fam. Say no more. April next year is going to be lit. I got some more stuff to tell you about that. But speaking of that, so Deliciously Dope, A Journey into the World of Culinary Cannabis, is going to be this new little neat TV show thing that we're doing, explaining the culture behind food and cannabis and how it just brings everybody together no matter who they are. Whoops. That's the idea. That's a watered down version, but there's more to it than that. So I like farm fresh things, and I like hoggies, and piggies and things of that nature, because anything pork is just perfect to me. Yeah, that's where Morganja Farms, that's where we're going to source our meat from, and everything of that nature. So when you hear Deliciously Dope, think Morganja Farms, y'all, because that's how it's going to be popping off. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I think 10 or 11 dinners to do before December, the end of this year. And then more next year. People are calling left and right. It's insane. I love it. I think that it's going to be a great time. I think it is a great time for caregivers and for dispensaries alike. I'll be honest with you, it's the caregivers that called first, so let's face it, that's when we're going to go. But at the same time, man, I couldn't ask for another person to kind of be in cahoots with. I think that you'll keep me in check if I kind of, want to sway to one way or another. I appreciate that about you. I appreciate all of the caregivers and stuff, man. And honestly, dude, Morganja Farms, we need more eyes and ears on it, because I want to see this succeed. That's my point. And I believe in it, bro. And that's the truth, and I can tell. I've seen a couple of things that you made, the pork and beans, bro. When you send me pictures like that, it doesn't matter what filter you put them in. You don't, but that's what foodies don't understand. It don't matter. You can see that flavor. You can see that how it took time to cook the beans and how the pork was raised and all of that. I could taste that picture. That's the point. So it just makes sense that Deliciously Dope would work in collaboration with Morganja Farms, man. I mean, that's just how it works, and quite honestly, I think that we're going to put, bigger and better eyes on what we're doing and give the caregivers more of a voice. You feel me? And that's the idea of it, bro. That's seriously the idea of it. Now, that being said, bro, let's talk about that plain dub. All right? All eggs in one basket. Period at the end of the sentence. Dead or alive, who's one person that you would smoke with and why?
I would say Willie Nelson, man, because that dude's focused and he's got it going on.
Hell yeah.
He's like literally, he's the ganja business, and he's all about promoting his brand, and he's an entrepreneur, man. He's a ganjapreneur. He is an OG. Absolutely. Like, I think it's cool. I think it's real cool, and if I got a chance to smoke with Willie, I wouldn't be mad. But I do gotta ask though, what would you smoke with him? Would it be like a bong, dab, joint, spliff? Was it be out of an apple? Like, what's the word? Oh, definitely joints, man. He's all about joints. I mean, every picture that you see of the man, he's got a joint in his hand, and I actually want to try his. He's got a strain out right now called Willie's Reserve. I want to try that. I haven't got to taste test that. But
I actually may be able to get my hands on that. I'll get you some. Seriously, I think it's past my desk before. I've seen it on my desk before, which means I can access it. So
very cool. I'm really not into like smoking that type of like flower, grown mass scale and stuff like that. Right. But if he puts his name on it, I'm sure it's got to be quality.
Right. And, that's where we kind of have to respect those people. You know what I mean? A little bit. From Lil Wayne to Jay-Z and all these other people, you can tell who's doing it for the money and who's not. Okay. First and foremost, Willie Nelson is known for his music. Don't get me wrong. Okay. But he's also known for smoking weed. Most of these people are. I'm not going to lie to you. But at the same time, it's Willie Nelson. You kind of have to. I do.
For it, like way before anybody else, man. He's like one of those type peoples that really stood out there and put a voice about it. I'm not going to be oppressed for this herb. I'm going to smoke this herb wherever I want, and whenever I go, wherever I go, I'm going to smoke it.
Exactly. He was just swimming through. That's what it is. He ain't causing the waves. He ain't, he's just swimming. That's what it is. And honestly, I feel the same way with Tommy Chong, with Chong's Choice. I've seen that go up and I've seen it go down. It is what it is. But I feel that, with all due respect, he's probably a little bit more well known in the cannabis industry only because of the movies. That's it. And the same kind of imagery. He just doesn't play music. Whereas, Willie, oh man, you give him a guitar, he can get. That's the point. And yes, I think that Willie Nelson I'd be remiss to say if I didn't, try and sneak in and join that. I'd be like, hey, I'm cool too. You know what I mean? Like, shit, I would down for that. Down like Syndrome. That was mean. But moving on. I think that Willie Nelson is a fantastic person to smoke with, and I would just ask him one question. At the end, I would just be like, how's it feel? And that's my point. I want to know how it feels to be Willie Nelson, how it feels to be able to stop in his life at that moment in time, turn around and look back. I want to know how it feels to know that you've done all that. I want to know. I want to know. I'm never going to be able to do that. You understand? Because let's face it, times are changing, and I'm not Willie Nelson, but I would like to know from his perspective why and how it feels, That's it. It's as simple as that, man. You know what I mean? And I think that what we're doing, if we just keep going, I think we'll be able to get there. You feel me? That ain't that, dude. You gotta manifest it. You gotta manifest it to bring it to light. Otherwise, this shit just won't happen. And honestly, manifest and marijuana / Mary Jane, they all start with M. That was a quantum reach if I've ever had one, but I like it, man. I like it. I like the Willie Nelson thing. I like the whole story. Dude, Morganja Farms, y'all, you're gonna see and hear more about it. Don't sleep on this one. You know what I mean? I want to take this time to say thank you, Dave, for everything you're doing, for caregivers, for yourself, for me, man, for everyone out there. Seriously, thank you. Thank you for coming on the show, man. Without people like you, we couldn't do what we're doing, man. I know I kind of, put a little bit of, I want to say a gray color, on things that I do, but that's the point of it. It ain't about me, bro. It ain't about me. It ain't about the money. That. It's about getting the word out and healing people, and if that's the case that we've got to do what we do to protect, the caregivers, we're going to do that.
That's right. Serving the people.
Exactly. I do want to finish off the show real quick about and let people know that I just got back from the Niles event. That was the first ever legal recreational event. Let me clarify that because there's been some buzz on the internet. That is the first ever legal recreational event. Okay. Yes, there have been legal medical ones. Yes. But this is the first legal one. Yes, there have been events before, but they have not been legal. They've been on private property, X, Y, and Z. This is the first ever legal recreational event. There were police there. There were police at the beginning checking for tickets and things. I was worried, I don't like police. These ones I do like. They made me believe that this is possible, y'all. Everyone was chill. There's people smoking right in front of cops. Hell, there's probably a contact buzz. I'm joking, but everybody did it right. There was on your way out, there was munchies you could smash and eat, and then you had a long walk to your car. It was brilliant. It was very perfectly planned, and for people that weren't there that are talking shit, go to the next one, y'all. Then you can talk shit. Seriously, the price of admission was a little steep, but it's gonna be being the first one. They're still figuring that out, y'all. You understand? So I do expect it to, to kind of go down a little bit. I would like to say thank you to Float, who invited me, and things of that nature. Everyone that put it on. Niles, awesome city. Never been there. Love it. I'm going back for sure, just because of the city, but. I think definitely worry about price of tickets. I think that vendors were a good idea, but I think that the donation of 100 tickets to the local, the local adult senior citizen community. Sorry, the senior citizen community in that area. I think that was brilliant. I think that's fantastic. It's not all about THC. I think it's about CBD and a better quality of life. That's caregivers, all around there. And so for them to give out 100 tickets to the elderly there in the community and invite them, that was if you continue to do that, you'll continue to impress me, you know. And I'm sure if there's a caregiver out there that said they wanted to come, but the price was too high, I'm sure they would help take care of that as well. You understand? Because they want more eyes and ears on this. This is how we do this. You know, we have to expect these police officers to be better. If we don't, then guess what? We're just as bad as those people. You understand? If we can't move past this, as caregivers, as, you know, legal cannabis, as police officers, and just as people in general, just imagine what happens when it you know, becomes federally legal. It's just all hell's gonna break loose, you know. So I think we need to work together in unity. Honestly, there are good cops and there are bad cops, period. There's good stoners and there's bad stoners. There's good people and then there's bad people. Who you want to be at the end of the day is up to you. You know what I'm saying? But I would recommend that you take an example off of people such as myself, such as Dave, my bad. You know, Morganja Farms, Deliciously Dope. You know, look to these people to know that there's a gray area in life, and it's all about unity. I don't give a fuck, you know, what your sergeant told you, okay? My sergeant told me to da-da-da-da. Yeah, it doesn't really matter, understand? Because your sergeant's not here. You see what I'm saying? This is the issue. That didn't happen at Niles. That happened at a different event that I was at, but that person just probably shouldn't have been a police officer anymore. That's all I'm saying on that. Dave, my man, Morganja Farms. It's gonna pop off. It's gonna be brilliant. I'm excited as shit for this, man. What are you looking forward to before we sign off?
I'm just getting prepped and ready, man. Looking forward to the harvest season, and it's all coming up, man. Like everything. Like I'm harvesting hogs as I'm literally like cleaning my plants out. I don't think we mentioned this also, this is ganja fed hogs. So all these hogs are cannabinoids infused. I give them all of my trim. So as I'm harvesting, you know, I'm giving them all that stuff, and it's all going hand in hand. So by the time they're intaking all those cannabinoids, I'm taking them to the butcher and filling freezers and, you know, bringing people, you know, good food and quality medicine.
Absolutely. That's what it's about, man. That's what it's about. Please note that eating said hogs will not get you, you know, high or anything of that nature. You can carry on a few cannabinoids, but you won't feel the actual effects. It's more for the piggy at that point, so that we don't stress them out, so the cortisone doesn't ruin the meat, if you will.
And the vitamin too. You're getting a lot of vitamin D3.
There's more protein in a cannabis leaf than there is broccoli.
There you go.
So, I mean, there's that. But, man, thanks again. Morganja Farms, you guys. Check them out, gals. Everybody look at it. Dave, I can't say, you know, thank you enough, man, for partnering up and doing this, and even being on the show.
For having me on there.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, I'm excited for the 21st. You know, there's a lot to do, my man, a lot to do. That being said, y'all, my tokers, my jokers, my smokers, take it easy, take it sleazy, take it breezy. Just be chill. You know what I'm saying? I said that wrong. I'll say it right the next time. But until the next time, y'all, I'm Chef Rodney. This is my man, Dave, Morganja Farms. We'll see you guys soon. Peace.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Tell me, how has cannabis impacted your life?
Now, this is something I've been asked a few times now. The answer is simple. It gave me my life back. Over the years of putting a flame to a pan or mincing onions, I've learned that state of mind is a powerful thing. Far too often do we let things like anxiety and depression take the wheel and steer us. The use of cannabis has taught me the importance of self-care, which has allowed me to take a step back, observe, deduce, and calculate my feelings and emotions. This has helped me in so many ways, in and out of the kitchen, that I believe in this so much I've decided to change my life and help erase the stigma behind the devil's lettuce. This is where I choose to tell my story with flavors and terpenes. Only this is where I add my own flavor, a flavor that can help people heal as I did, cannabis. So grab a joint, light it up, and come with me as I embark on this journey. This is Deliciously Dope, a journey into the world of culinary cannabis.
Works great from the background all the way to the foreground of film. Let's go. Here's some of my acting emotions that I think I was talking to you about earlier. Here's me happy. So what's this joyous news I hear? Oh, Grandma's not responding. Oh, well, you better cash in on that insurance policy. Here's me angry. Jordan took a bite out of it. I can't just take this beef, cut it, take the extractor remains from your word hole, and then sell it to a new customer. Now can I? Here's me sad. Ketchup on the burger. What in the name of Poseidon's boots are you talking about? This is an audition for a taxi cab. For burgers and ketchup. Next. Here's me after a month-long drug, booze, and burrito binge. Ugh. I'm a character actor, meaning I play characters on movies and TV shows, probably. So if I put 2 and 2 together, it's not 5, meaning I can be a character actor. So the next time you need a hobo, spare change for old Albert, sure. A drug dealer. Hey Holmes, I got that Jaja from Lake Titicaca. Or a serial killer for your next unionized gig. I'm gonna be your serial killer today. I stabbed it. It hasn't come out yet. Where am I supposed to look? Call me up and I'll kill the performance. Get it? Serial killer? Never mind. Yeah, just call me for the next video production or, you know, your next production there, buddy. All right.
What the fuck are you doing in my house? What is going? Where did you get in here?
You won't be disappointed.
How are you here?
This is not my
Get out!
Gotta go. Bye.
Yeah, dear Patrick, please pay by this or break your legs by the 30th. Oh, hey, you made it to the back of the video. That is awesome. So make sure to like it, subscribe to it, so you stay chained to it. Now, I'm gonna go pay off some debt that I don't know, or my legs get broken. Just like the papers. You can get to the forest.
Yeah, hello?
Greetings.
Where is he?
We kidnapped him like you said, and then we just dropped him.
Well, he's a star of our new review line, and I need him here, so... you're a fucking important... Hey, never mind, Paul. I found him. He's here. Making a bunch of racket.
My name is Paul. In 1997.
Hello, Mr. Flynn. Fuck is Mr. Finn? You fucking assaulted me? Huh? No, Albert. Well, fucking ain't no buy you too, feeling dick. How the fuck I get here? I don't know why I'm holding this. Funny story about that. Production van came, kidnapped you, because you never want to fucking cooperate every time we have to make a video, because I own you, right? So let's get this review on the line and get this train wreck fucking moving, okay? Get to it. Where's my fucking shoes? Well, there's a hot turkey sandwich in it for you if you shut the fuck up and just do what I tell you to review. I don't know how to renew shit for you, fucking little shit bitch. No, you go fucking take a shit, you little bitch. You'll get food. Oh, why didn't you tell Albert Flinner that? Something, I'll do some turkey. I need food, I'm hungry. You got a review? This wine. I can see you already have a bottle of liquor with you, but I need your judgment for this. Fuck you, you got a wizard or something? You're fucking leprechaun. Yes, Al. Wallaroo? Is this a bottle of fucking water? No, Albert. No. Yeah. You want my thoughts on Wallaroo Trail? Yes, Al. Wine. This fucking cunt. You want me to Shires? I don't know that guy in jail. Blend vines from Australia, Canada. I don't know why they picked him up. They said he was only 6 out of 10 drunk. I don't know why he was being like this. He's just going on and on.
Here's a little story of a walroo. Halfway between a walroo and a kangaroo is often found in the vineyards of Austria. The Austrians have a kangaroo.
It's Australia, Al. Just so you know.
Probably gonna try it out, maybe though. I fucking hate wine.
Just drink it and tell us what you freaking think, man.
Read the rest, so we're gonna have a little taste. We'll smell it. We're all out of winter.
How can this guy drink liquor and wine all at once? What's he doing?
Not bad, actually. Premium. Had a little swick, and shut the fuck up. That's not for me. I don't know why.
Well, that went way better than I expected. And like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Hey, Al, Albert!
Greetings, Fly.
Yeah, Paula?
It's Paul.
Al's out again.
I'm busy, Steve.
I don't fucking care about that. Get Big Steve. He's the only guy that can pick him up.
Big Steve's
Or get another fucking person for me so I can lift him up and get him the fuck out of here, please. We'll throw him back out on the street. We'll hook up with him again.
Everyone's on lunch. Can you just grab me?
Oh my god, just get Big Steve here now. He's the only guy who lives by himself. Bye. Fucking PAs. Fuck's sakes.
You notice the promotion in my beard? Well, you gotta get somewhere in the world. You need food.